Prime Minister should be in jail.
That's not what I said.
Well,
that's not
what
what
I
said.
heard. What did you say then?
Oh,
Repeat what you said.
Sure, I'll tell you what I said.
My name is Nico Lagan, and I'm too conservative for the conservatives. My co-host, Rob Ambrose, not woke enough for the liberals. We are the political orphans. What's on the show today? Poilievre continues to backtrack his comments. This time, he says he never said Justin Trudeau should go to prison. Our trading relationship with the U.S. is now over, as per Carney, and he also asks us to sacrifice more for our economy. Make sure to like, make sure to restream this stream. But as always, we want to hear from you, so leave a comment below. What's going on, brother?
It's happening, brother. It kind of sounds like he was backtracking there a little bit, you might say.
You think? You think? No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah. No. He wasn't backtracking at all.
Yeah.
He never said that, right?
It wasn't Trudeau. I was talking about the former commissioner of the RCMP.
The former prime minister. You mean Harper?
Yeah, exactly, right. Why doesn't he just own it? Just say, yeah, I said that. And I believe it. Right?
And you know what? I'll be the first one to say I agree with his first statement. I've said it from the get-go. I agree 1,000,000%.
Coming in hot
I agree 1,000%. Yep.
To defend Poilievre, and he's like, remember the guy that came in the other day and he was like, where's your proof that he's backtracked? And we're like, brother, we just showed you. Look at it. It's right there.
Right there. But it's everywhere, man. If I look at I look on Instagram, people are defending him all over the place. I will show you a video earlier, and even Mark Nixon was saying, ooh, that's the look of a guy that's gonna vote no on the next budget. Because did you know that they met like yesterday? Carney and Pierre Poilievre met, and I looked at the video and I'm like, wow, he's gonna bitch out. And Mark Nixon is saying the complete opposites. I'm like, what the fuck? Am I on crack? Because I don't do drugs, man. I don't even drink. But what the fuck, man? Like, I don't understand how people. I like Mark Nixon. Like, I actually like him as a person. We had him on the show. I had a long conversation with him. I like the dude, but I don't understand how they can defend his action. Like, I'll show you the video. I had to stop it. It's 5 minutes long. I'm gonna stop it. I guarantee you, I'm not able to go through the full 5 minutes. But tell me, just from what you're getting, if he's going against Mark Carney. He's almost happy. He's all smiley and shit. I'm like, bro, he's destroying our economy. How are you not fucking murdering that guy? If you cared, if I had Mark Carney in front of me, he'd go for a fucking flying lesson. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. I don't know. And so what was Mark Nixon? Is he saying that Poilievre's going to vote no on the budget? I would expect he would, wouldn't he? To me, that would be
that would. You know what? How about we just let me? I had no intentions of talking about Mark Nixon, but hold on, give me a second. I'm just gonna bring it up because he posted it earlier, so we might as well start with this because I swear I saw it on his X 7 hours. God damn, that guy posts a lot. Because the video was from, oh, there you go. I wanted to show that video no matter what, so might as well start with that. So here's the video of Pierre Poilievre speaking about his meeting with Mark Carney yesterday. So I'm just going to read the caption first, but basically it's happening, flames. We're headed into an election, the smile of a man who knows his second chance is imminent. Pierre's recap of this meeting with Mark Carney says it all. The gloves are off.
You hear anything to change your mind?
Well, we had a good conversation. My message, of course, to the Prime Minister is that people can't afford to pay anymore, that they're tapped out, their grocery bills, the rent is too high, after 10 years of excess spending. So I shared my view that we need the government to bring down its inflationary deficits and tax.
Like, we're fit 20 seconds in. Does that sound like a guy that went to war for us? like no, he's talking like he just met with his buddy. Oh, you know, we smoked a cigar, and I told him that we should, Canadians are kind of suffering right now, so we need to do something. But that's how he speaks. He has a big smile on his face, like he just went for a bachelor party and he had fun. Like, what the fuck am I missing here? But yeah, I'll let it play, but tell me that it sounds like a guy that's destroying your country. That's the type of relationship that you had, or that's the type of conversation you had with him.
I was grateful for the chance to sit down with the Prime Minister. We had a good conversation.
Fuck you.
He didn't make any commitments. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what he comes up with.
You said you hoped he was in listening mode. Did you feel that was the case?
I think we both were. We had a good back and forth. And we shared our respective views. I'm not going to report to you anything that he said, because that was in the four walls of the room. I can only speak for myself. And I reiterated that we need this to be an affordable budget. We've seen over the last 10 years of Liberal deficit spending is driven up the cost of living and driven down investment in our country. So my message is it's time to reverse course on the costly decade of deficit spending that has given us more expensive food and housing. The Canadian people deserve a break. The cost of government is driving up the cost of living. And so if the government...
Okay, I can't take this shit anymore. Is this the type of opposition that you want? Does that sound like somebody that his job is to criticize the government?
Well, no. I mean, it depends on what you think. Like, if he's trying to get something done, yeah, sure, I can see that. But I don't really, I don't think even an opposition leader needs to be just belligerent for the sake of belligerence. But at least, like, try to get, if you're not going to criticize, then you should be getting something done. And he's doing neither.
And that's a question for the people out there. Support Pierre Poilievre or not, I want to know what you guys think. Considering that 1 out of 5 households in Canada cannot afford daily necessities, considering that the average working Canadian pays 43% of his income in some type of tax, considering that the average Canadian family spends 91 to 103%, that means more than what they make every year.
Nico, your mic just cut out. I don't know if guys, I don't know if it's me or can you guys hear Nico? It's you? Okay. I'll take a couple questions here.
No, I think it's back up.
Oh, you got, okay. You're good. Were you muted? No, there it is now. There it is again. That's really weird. Maybe mute yourself and then unmute. Okay. I'll take a few comments there while we're waiting for Nico to sort his mic out. Cornelius Centurion says, weak on Bill C-64, weak on the Paris Accord, weak on immigration, weak against the UN's ideology in general. Yeah. It's just weak all around. Hard to argue with anything you're saying there. Dano Ashawasaga, I think this might be your first time commenting. Welcome. He says, Pierre was trying to reason with a psychopath, though. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Sure. I mean, I wouldn't say Mark Carney is a psychopath, but I also wouldn't say he isn't either. I don't know. And to me, so many of these politicians they're just so good at hiding it. He sounds kind of like a pretty regular politician, but so many of them are psychopaths. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I can't really argue with anything you're saying.
But hold on, hold on. If you go back to that comment, it's not
this
the fact that he's trying. No, that one. Yep. It's not the fact that he's trying to reason with a psychopath. You can't reason with a psychopath or a sociopath. You can't. That's the problem. They have no empathy. If I was in the place of Pierre Poilievre, knowing how much the average Canadian is hurting, I would be losing my shit. And this is what I'm tired of seeing. I'm tired of this being, the state of our economy is not a fucking joke. There's nothing to laugh about. There's absolutely nothing funny about what's been going on in Canada for the past 10 years. Nothing. That motherfucker sitting there with a smirk on his face, it drives me absolutely nuts. Why is he not losing his fucking shit? That's what.
It cut off again. Leah Jet says PR is playing nice, so MSM can't call him out for not being cordial. Yeah, probably, but like, why would he care? Why, like, I mean, that's not leadership. Who gives a shit what the media says? But I agree with you. I think that's exactly what he's doing. That's exactly why he backtracked on the Trudeau thing. He really can't. Yeah, especially this day and age when the media has no credibility and are inherently biased against you and your side. Why would you give a shit about what the media has to say? Frankly, I mean, you know, we, especially Nico will say all the time, Pierre's just a liberal. I mean, that kind of makes him, that kind of provides evidence for that claim. If he was a conservative, he wouldn't care what the media says, because he would know that the media is inherently biased against him, and there's nothing he can do about it to get favorable coverage anyways. But the fact that he actually does care suggests that he seems to think that he's going to get fair coverage from the media, which is, you know, a bit of a stretch, I think.
You know, man, at the end of the day, I am tired of politicians as a whole to try to play nice. That's my problem. A guy like Pierre Poilievre, as much as I think he's a liberal, will never be respected by mainstream media. They're literally getting $1.4 billion every year, just CBC, in funding from the liberals. They're never gonna give him the credit that he's due, if any. Why the fuck is he playing nice? That's my whole point. He's always trying to play nice for people that don't fucking like him. Fuck him. It's time for him to fucking stand up and say the real things. He did. Last week he did, when he said that Justin Trudeau should be in fucking jail. I agree with him 100,000 fucking %. The RCMP is despicable. What they did was not right. They did not do their jobs, and that fucking organization is corrupt as shit. Those were the realest thing Pierre Poilievre has ever said in his fucking 20-year career. What's the first thing that he did, just like I fucking called? Backtracked it. Oh, but that's not what I meant. He is not a leader. If he really cared for Canadians, he makes 250 grand a year. He's worth millions. He's not hurting. That dude is not hurting.
No, and that's,
the average,
you know,
Canadian remembers 10 years ago. I do remember 10 years ago. The average Canadian does too. He does not fucking understand what it is to be a regular guy struggling to make ends.
Well, he's never been one, right? He's been a politician his whole life.
That's my fucking point. That's why he can have a grin like that. How many people, no matter if you like Pierre Poilievre or not, how many people in the comment section are hurting? How many people can see the difference from 10 years ago to today? How many people are finding life in Canada harder over the past 10 years of liberal policies? Like, no matter who you like, I don't really care. But please be honest and tell me how many of you feel that Canada is in a better place today than it was 10 years ago. Tell me honestly, if that's the type of politician that you want. You want somebody that's laughing, that's smiling. I want somebody that's going to fuck shit up. I want somebody to go out there that's going to break some fucking table, that's going to lose his shit so bad that he's going to get escorted out of the House of Commons. This is the reality of where we are right now. Love or hate Trump, Trump does not give a fuck about saying what he believes is true. I'm not saying that he's speaking the truth. I'm saying that he is not scared to say what he believes is true, and he will not fucking apologize for it either. Even you, as a liberal, said yesterday he's the guy that the US needs right now. And I agree. And that's what we need in Canada here. Even Chris Barber was saying the same thing yesterday. We need somebody that's ready to fuck shit up, that's not gonna apologize, that understands what it is to just be a fucking commoner, just like one of us.
Yeah, the Bristles Tube says if he just spoke the truth, people will get behind him. And yeah, that's a great point. I mean, people are starving. People are starving for just a politician who just speaks like a real person, right?
Yep.
Who's not triangulating everything that they say, and everything that they say gets ran through a focus group or 5 focus groups to offend the least amount of people, and to get the most palatable, sanitized, words out there. And it's ridiculous. It's, for whatever it might cost you, for the odd, mistake that you say or things you say that might rub some people the wrong way, you're going to get people, even if they disagree with you, who are just find it refreshing that someone just speaks and doesn't give a shit. And that's why, like Trump or hate him, there's a large part of his appeal that just comes from the fact that he doesn't give a shit, that he just says what comes to his mind. Even if you disagree with the things he says, there's people like that. There's someone who just talk like a real person now.
And that's all I'm asking for. I'm just asking for somebody that will fucking do the right thing, not apologizing for being right because he's facing backlash. And every single time he says something that hurts people's feelings, he kind of tries to weasel his way out afterwards. And as you're gonna see, we're gonna talk about what he did about Trudeau. Bull fucking shit. You said Trudeau deserved to be in jail. That his action, he should be in jail. I have the recording. I'm going to play it again for you guys. But and I agree. I fucking clap for him. I'm like, finally, somebody has the balls to say it out loud. Well, it turns out he didn't have balls. He had one. He had one ball.
So, yeah, it came out for a few minutes, and then it was like it was a Groundhog Day ball. It came out, saw his shadow, was like, oh God, ran back in the hole. I mean, and so I actually am not all that familiar with the SNC-Lavalin scandal. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on if Trudeau should be in jail or not. But the fact of the matter is, if you said it, fucking own it, man. Like that. Like, I have far more respect for you if you just say, even if I disagreed with you, just that you own it. As Louis Devluget says, and this might be your first time commenting because I don't recognize this name. Welcome, sir. That's exactly why I like Trump. He ricks shit up. I assume you mean fuck shit up. And that's what I mean. People want someone who's gonna get shit done. Look at what he's doing. Like, whatever you might not like about him as his persona, his personality, he might have solved the greatest geopolitical riddle of the last 7 years, the thing that every single Western politician has been trying to solve, the holy grail of geopolitics the last 70 years. And he looks like, I mean, yes, the peace still has to hold over in Gaza, but he got people in a room and he said, you're not leaving, basically, until you get something done. And he got shit done, whatever you want to think about it. And that is what we need these days.
And Bristle Tube, if he spoke like you, like me, he would win in a heartbeat, and I agree. That is what people want. He's not going to lose any supporter for coming in and speaking the truth. He's not. Nobody on the conservative side is going to disagree with him. On the contrary, there's a lot of people like me. There's a lot of people like you that might, oh shit, maybe I should listen to this guy. But he is not the guy. Well, and even if there was an election tomorrow, do you see, again, that's another question for the people out there. If there was another election, let's say that 2 weeks from now, the budget doesn't pass and we end up as a vote of non-confidence, the parliament's dissolved, and then, we have another election. Do you honestly think he's going to win?
No. That's why, and I think he knows it, and I think he knows it, and I think he doesn't. That's why he's going to vote for this budget. He's not going to vote no because he doesn't want an election, because he would rather be, secure in his leader of the opposition than be prime minister, because he gets paid, he gets a nice paycheck, adding more money to the pile for his pension. He doesn't want to risk that. He doesn't have no responsibility. He doesn't want to risk that to maybe be PM. He's happy to be opposition leader for the next 3 or 4 years in this, kabuki theater. This make it look like we're opposing. He sounded pretty chummy there when he talked about his meeting with Carney.
That's what drove me nuts the most. They're very good at insulting each other on the other side of the fence. You know, when they're talking, you know what they remind me of? You've seen those videos of dogs? There's two dogs, each on one separate part of the and then the door starts opening, and they keep on but they keep on walking to where the fence is, and if the door is completely open, they walk away. This is what I see. I see a bunch of weak fucking men arguing like little fucking women in the House of Commons, and as soon as it gets to do something, they're all little bitches. And that's one of the biggest problems I have with Pierre Poilievre. He's not a manly guy. You know that I show up and I just put him into a bretzel, put it in my back pocket. That little guy's not doing shit. I'm also tired of that. I'm tired of effeminate men trying to act like they're masculine. Like Milhouse, he literally took his glasses off and got a new haircut. He's still fucking Milhouse. But it pisses me off that
he does look like Milhouse.
But it drives me nuts that this is a conservative guy that's supposedly that's a conservative guy. Of course he does. You look at a guy like RFK Jr. that's literally 40 years older than him, and I think he can kick his ass with one hand.
No, for sure.
I honestly like. And he's.
Did you see him? I seen him bench. He was benching like fucking 220 or something. 70 years old.
He's like in his 70s, so he's literally 30 years older than him, and he can take him like it's not even gonna break a sweat.
Oh no!
And that guy is not manly enough to win in the U.S.
Yeah. No, it. I mean, it's funny that you mentioned that because I can't really think of too many, male politicians who are sort of a traditional masculine or manly.
Nope.
I guess kind of Trump. If you,
but I don't consider him.
No, just because he's so.
Nobody does. Energy.
He's got masculine energy where he takes what he wants and he sets the tone. Yeah,
he's not kicking anybody's asses.
No, he's an old timer.
let's be honest here.
Yeah,
but at least he has some type of masculine energy. Do you see that in Pierre Poilievre? I don't see any masculine energy coming from that guy at all. Well,
no, it's feminine energy. And when I say that feminine energy, what I mean is, I don't even mean that as an insult. I mean it as, seek to build consensus, like just wanting to fit in, just wanting everything to work. And there are times when that's okay and that might be appropriate. But as a leader of the opposition party, that's not what you want.
Wanting to fit in, that is so true. This is exactly what he emanates. That's the energy. I just want to show up and hopefully you like me.
Yes, that's a better term, since you're people pleasing.
Oh, yes.
Definitely. Yeah.
100%. That's very, very, very well said. Where do we go into? Do we go to him backtracking? Before we get to the economy, do we go to the backtracking? You might as well.
Yeah. I just want to take this one quickly before we go there. Rusty Wing says, we need a no kings protest. You know what? That is the most effective protest ever because there are no kings in America. What's hilarious about that is Canada had its own no kings protest, even though America has no kings. And we do have a fucking king. It's just these idiots, man. And you know what's hilarious too about that? When you see the scenes, it was all overwhelmingly white and 60 plus. Like it's all it was. The boomers are the only people who are, they're just suffering from Trump derangement system syndrome. It's an epidemic. Might need to lock them down, quarantine them.
Or just put them in an old homes house. Like we need to put them away already. It's too they're too old. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Yeah. It's like if you can't drive properly anymore, you shouldn't be able to vote.
Yeah, that's right. You're not allowed to drive.
Nope. So here is this is going viral everywhere. It's Pierre Poilievre saying that he never said that Justin Trudeau should go to jail. Let's listen to Pierre Poilievre. I don't know what to call it. Backtrack, backpedal, pussying out, whatever.
Prime Minister should be in jail.
That's not what I said. Many of the scandals of the Trudeau era should have involved jail time. I mean, Trudeau broke the criminal code when he took a free vacation from someone with whom he had government business.
Repeat what you said.
Sure, I'll tell you what I said. I was asked about the scandals of the last 10 years of the Liberal government. And what would I do if such scandals and corruption were to happen when I become Prime Minister? And I said I would have zero tolerance for corruption. Nobody is above the law. So if I could, in certain cases, I think there were scandals in the Liberal government that would be appropriately punished in that way. You think of the Green Slush Fund, where individuals were appointed to a board to manage public funds. And what did they do with it? They gave it to themselves. To me, that is a crime for which they should have been held responsible. People have got to be held responsible for corruption. And if you look at my remarks, that's what I said. We will hold people accountable for corruption.
You know, I agree with the last part of his statement. I agree with what he had to say today, but to say that he didn't say it is bullshit. Like, why can he not just own up to what he said? Because again, I agree, people that commit a crime, I don't care that you're a prime minister, as per the law, the prime minister is not above the law. If you do something criminal, you should end up in jail, plain and simple. He said nothing wrong. He was absolutely right. Fucking Justin Trudeau broke the criminal code when he accepted a free vacation from the Aga Khan. He went on his private island for a Christmas vacation. Technically, that's corruption because he has government business with the federal government. So you can't accept anything from them. That's bribery. That's a fucking crime. You know what he had? Nothing. They recognized it. The commission said, you know what? It was wrong. You broke the rules 4 times, but you know what? No consequences. So it was recognized that he did something wrong. It was just no consequences for his actions. When it came to SNC-Lavalin, he told the justice minister to stop her prosecution of SNC-Lavalin for corruption. He demoted her. He took her from the role of justice minister, and he sent her to the people that dealt with native. I can't remember what the name is.
The person?
No, the minister. She was the justice minister.
Oh,
she wanted to go after SNC-Lavalin. She didn't want to drop the case after Trudeau told her.
Someone in the comments will, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But she was literally moved over to a lesser position, and then she just quit. And
well, yeah.
Remember the Emergency Act that he used in 2020?
Kenzie's,
Wilson
yeah.
Raybould, that's the minister. Yes, that's the justice minister. But I was more thinking about the actual role that she had after. She had Indian Affairs. That it was still called Indian Affairs back then. So she was sent there. But the point is that he also broke it was unconstitutional as per John Carpe and the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedom has shown in Supreme Court that Justin Trudeau broke the Constitution by using the Emergency Act during the convoy. This is black on white. You can Google it right now. It's illegal what he did. It was unconstitutional and it was illegal. So bribery, reshuffled one of his ministers for not dropping a corruption case, and then he used the Emergency Act illegally. Those are all things that can be considered criminals. That could be considered criminal. As much as Kenzie Kraken, UNF ethical violation are not criminal. Actually, they are. They can be. It depends on how you're punished for them. I checked it out. I researched it this afternoon. This is criminal. They chose not to pursue it. Same thing with SNC-Lavalin. That's why it's back in the news, because the case was just dropped a few weeks ago. It had been going on for years, but then the justice is like, oh, you know what? We don't have enough proof. We're just gonna drop it. But the RCMP admitted that they never interviewed Trudeau in any of the proceedings. And that's how this whole thing started with Pierre Poilievre, is because he mentioned that on that podcast. That was the whole conversation.
Yeah. And I'm like, the specifics of what he said, whether Trudeau belongs to jail, I mean, honestly, in my opinion, I don't have an opinion on that. and that's almost a separate discussion. I kind of do tune out when people say my political opponent should be in jail, because you hear all the time on all sides, and a lot of times it's
But
bunk.
that's not what he said.
No, but the part that's most relevant to me is, if you said it, fucking own it, man. Like, you'd look weak and pathetic if you just back it up, backtrack 2 days later. Just say, yeah, I said this. I said he should be in jail, and here's why. And make the case for what you said.
And did you know this? Rusty Wiener is absolute. Sorry, bro. It's not Weiner.
What does he say? It's pronounced Weiner? Nah, bro.
Yeah,
There's
no, Rusty Wiener. I'm sorry, bro.
You're not getting away with that here.
But that is true. When the SNC-Lavalin thing came to a head, Trudeau prorogued government. That's true. I forgot about that. That's what he did last December. It was in the middle of the corruption case. He stepped down as prime minister.
Yeah. I mean,
the thing is that what Pierre Poilievre said is accurate. And as you said, I like what you're saying, because you're taking kind of a middle of the way approach here, where you say that, you know what, I don't care if you agree or not. You said it, grow a fucking pair, and own your speech. To the minimum, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But he said nothing wrong. He has said nothing wrong that requires him to apologize or to backtrack. Again, he looks weak instead of looking strong and say, you know what, I said what I said. Because he didn't say my political opponents should be jailed. He said, if my political opponents, or even the people of my party, because he said later on that interview that if somebody in his party would do the same, he would hold them accountable. So he basically said that they need to be held accountable. And for what he did, he should be in jail. And there's nothing wrong with that. I agree with him 1,000%.
Yep, 100%. Bristles Tube says obstruction of justice is a crime. Yeah,
Amen,
that's
brother.
a good point. I mean, if you're gonna, again, I don't know. I didn't really follow Canadian politics really until we started this show that much. So I did not know the prorogued parliament at the same time as that was going on. But I mean, that sounds like there's some at least smoke there. There
wasn't just any smoke. There was a fucking the buildings are on fire and he's running away like, please don't touch me.
Building 7 is collapsing. Lewis says, so if they vote no confidence on budget, who the fuck are we common sense people voting for? It's going to be the same people. I don't know. It's going to be Poilievre, Carney, and May, and whoever NDP puts forward, but they're not.
But I don't see it happening because the NDP can't afford another election. They just can't.
No.
The Bloc actually would. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bloc would want to go to another election because they would probably win more votes in Quebec. The way the Liberals have been handling it, they probably would become the biggest winner again, like the last election. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Bloc's like, yeah, you know what? Let's go to an election. They don't give a fuck. It's not their money either way. We're good at sucking other people's money, so.
Yeah. Should we move on?
Unless there's some comments out there that you want to address, but
So, let me see here. Bristles Tube says, "Trust me, everything they did right up to shutting down Parliament was criminal." Yeah. I'll take that. The Bloc would own Quebec. Yeah, I think they would increase. Their numbers in Quebec, especially because they can see, how I don't know. I forget the name of the Bloc's leader, but he's really used the leverage available to him, and he's been swinging Quebec's big dick around, and they gotta love it.
Yeah, he's super.
It sucks for the rest of Canada. That sucks for it hurt. It's bad for the rest of Canada, but it's great for Quebec.
Yep. No, I agree. They'd be the biggest winner if there was another election again, just like they did last time. Yeah.
Bristol says corruption is so deep they would have to arrest everyone in government. Yeah, I mean that's
kind of my point. That's kind of what I want to see. So
I mean, and that is the kind of. It's not that I think corruption is okay. It's just that's the kind of you just become so what's the word? Just almost numb to it because you see it every day, all the time, all over, and it's that kind of corruption, like using your power to shut down investigations or shuffle someone away or silence someone. That happens all the time. But I guess, you could say, well, it happens all the time because nobody is getting charged and going to jail. Maybe if they start putting people in jail, maybe that would stop.
What I would like to see is the November 4th budget being denied, that every other party just says, yeah, fuck that, we're not voting for this. Then there's a shuffle because I don't know if you remember, but in January, there's Pierre Poilievre might lose his job. I don't see it happening, but there's a review, and they could potentially.
That's right.
Him.
I can't see that happening.
Yeah, me neither. But I would love for somebody like Leslyn Lewis.
Yeah,
I didn't know who she was before, but the way she's been talking against C8 and C9, those two bills, I would.
Well, she's also. She's spoken about a lot of things that like I think immigration she has.
She's a no bullshit woman, bro. Like she don't care.
Yeah,
she's saying the right thing.
Isn't she? She's a black. Is she a black woman?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
that is a nightmare for the liberals.
So if people vote against her, that means we get to call them sexist and racist, right? Is that how this works?
100%.
Yeah. If you do not vote for the black woman, you are sexist and racist. Those are just the rules that the left has put forward.
And I would so own it.
Of course.
If I was taking care of her marketing, I would so own it. She could become
are you sexist and racist?
Black prime minister, the first black woman prime minister of Canada. Times have changed. If you're not on board, you're a sexist or you're racist.
There's kind of a weird paradox where the left is the one that fetishizes, race and sex, and they're always putting forward, women and people of color and blah blah. But it seems to me far more likely that the next, say, prime minister, the first black female prime minister of Canada or the first black female president of the United States will be a Republican or conservative. And it's because if they get that high in the conservative party or the Republican party, it's because they're actually talented. It's because they actually, whereas in the left, they just get put forward because they're black, because they're a woman, and people see right through that. People could see that Kamala Harris was an empty barrel. It had no substance and had nothing to offer. And if someone is talented and skilled enough, like a black woman, to rise to the ranks of through, say, the Republican Party or the Conservative Party, you'll know that she did it from merit, and it will be clear to voters that she's got substance.
Just as a reminder for the new listeners, I'm a conservative and Rob's a liberal. Just thought I'd mention it.
Thought
I would mention it.
Yes, yeah. Well, I'm a classical liberal. I oppose much of what the political left of 2025 is doing.
I just think it's funny because you basically said that a black woman will only become prime minister if she's conservative because she will have deserved the nomination.
Well,
because we know the left is so racist that we need you at the top, Kamala Harris.
Yeah. They'll just go and get like the just. No vetting. She doesn't have to have any talent, any skill, anything. As long as you're black and a woman, you're at the top of the ticket. And that's just how they work, and that's how they roll. Yeah. And people see that. Voters could see Kamala Harris had nothing to offer. And not voting for her doesn't make you racist or sexist. It means you have fucking eyeballs and a brain, and you could see that all she has to offer is that fake laugh and stupid slogans.
She could probably suck a mean dick, though, considering where she started.
Oh well, she started as that, right? She's so I forget the guy's name.
Montel Jordan's mistress.
Well, him, yeah,
she was a side chick.
She was his mistress. I think there's a mayor of San Francisco. I think his name was Willie Brown, and she started as a 21-year-old and as his mistress. And now San Francisco politics is notoriously corrupt. And there's pictures and videos of him showing up at like some fancy awards gala, stepping out of a limo in like a mink coat with a young Kamala Harris, who actually looked pretty hot, getting out as a side piece, eye candy. And you could tell what's going on. Like, you could tell what the relationship is, what the dynamic is. And then to go from that to now she's a senator, now she wants to be president of the United States. Like, thankfully, you know, cool, like, sanity prevailed, and people were like, no, this person's an idiot, and she has nothing to do. She literally did. Like, I don't think it's fair or appropriate to accuse any woman in a high position of getting there because she sucks a mean cock. But it's pretty clear that that's how Kamala Harris got there, right? Just by the facts on the ground. Like, if she wasn't a famous mistress of several famous men, I wouldn't say that. Yeah, I mean, you got to call it as you see it.
Is it racist to say call the kettle black or whatever the fuck?
Pot calling the kettle black. Pot calling the kettle a kettle of color.
Yeah.
Anything
else you want to take?
I'll take this one. Rusty Wiener says, video game culture is an interesting lens for this. The diversity hires must inject diversity because it's the only reason they have a job. Yeah, it's fine. I saw an article yesterday, and it was just scrolling through X, and it was like from I don't know, CBC News. It was like basically like, great news. The military is moving, is more diverse now than it ever has been. And it says the reason is we now accept permanent residents. We open the military to permanent residents. And a couple of things jumped out. First of all, why isn't diversity in and of itself important, especially in the military? Like, why does it matter? Like, I'm not opposed to diversity. If you're hiring solid, people who should be in the military and they happen to be diverse, that's great. But diversity for the sake of diversity is idiotic. It has nothing to do with the military, and it seems antithetical to military values and a warrior culture. And the other thing is this really a good idea? Opening the military to permanent residents? Like, they're not even fucking citizens, but we're trusting them with the defense of the nation and some of our nation's top secrets.
You know what? All I know is that they do like to shoot guns on bridges in the middle of the woods in Muskoka, while in sandals. So
the recruiting officers were like, "Wow, look at that grouping!" When they saw that video, they're like, "Track these guys down."
That's why none of them are going to jail, right? They're probably just joining.
They're straight to the military.
We need these guys now.
Yes.
So let's change. Let's go to the next subject. We're going to talk economy because this is just absolutely fucking ridiculous. But hey, we live in a dystopian reality. I don't know how else to describe it. We live in such a world where our prime minister is able to say dumb shit like this. So Mark Carney yesterday in his address said that our relationship with the U.S. is basically over.
So because of these advantages, over decades our economy grew steadily more integrated with the United States through the Free Trade Agreement of the 1980s, the NAFTA Accord of the 1990s, and eventually USMCA agreement signed in 2018. Canada's trade increased by over 400% during that period, and our economy doubled in size. But this decades-long process of an ever closer economic relationship with the United States is now over. And as a consequence, many of our former strengths as a country, former strengths more particularly as our economy, strengths based on close ties to America, have become our vulnerabilities. And as a result of that, the jobs of workers in our industries most affected by the U.S. tariffs in autos, in steel, in lumber are under threat. And our businesses are holding back investments restrained by the pall of uncertainty that's hanging over all of us. Our relationship with the United States will never again be the same as it was, even though in this new world of protectionism, we have the best trade deal of any other country, and we're working to make it even better still.
And before we get into it, here's another one where he asks us to sacrifice more.
No sound.
I'm going to make this promise to Canadians.
Oh shit, it's low.
I will always be straight, but the challenge...
Wow, that is low. Hold on. That's X. I don't know why X does that sometimes. I'll just download it.
Okay. Did he say, I will always be straight?
Yes. That's
Yeah.
exactly how he starts the conversation. I will always be
Jesus.
straight.
I will always be straight, but sometimes on the weekends, you know, I go gay. I get a craving. I get a craving for the dick.
Just like you tell us, that's not gay, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Hold on, I got the video right here.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Oh yeah, I have so many downloaders of all the social media you can think of. So here's Mark Carney telling us we need to sacrifice more.
This promise to Canadians.
Oh shit, it's low.
I will always be straight, but the challenges that we face and the choices that we must make. And to be clear, we won't transform our economy easily or in a few months. It will take some sacrifices, and it will take some time. Our government will work relentlessly to cut waste and drive efficiencies. And when we have to make difficult choices, we will be thoughtful, we'll be transparent, we'll be fair. We will work collaboratively with our colleagues across the aisle to build, protect, and empower Canadians. We won't play games. We won't waste time. And we won't hold back. We will do what it takes. We will play to win. We will bet on Canada and all Canadians.
So what's his plan?
There's none coming, but this is coming from the guy that was the economic advisor to the dumbass that destroyed our economy. So he's basically saying that we have to pay for 10 years of their stupidity, and we need to trust them. We need to trust the people that fucked us to take us out of the trouble they put us in. That's basically what he's saying. Trust us, sacrifice more, because the past 10 years has not been enough. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. He's never going to admit that they fucked up. Obviously, it's Trump's fault. The past 10 years of liberal policies are 100% Trump's fault. But you know what? If you sacrifice, we'll get out of it. But it's not a short-term goal. Just like, doesn't that sound exactly like what we've been saying for 8 months now? Saying that, you know what, you need to make a deal with the US in the short term so that our economy doesn't fucking collapse. And in the medium to long term, exploit our resources. Let's become top 3 superpower in energy in the world. Because we have the potential to do it. We just need to fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that fucking twat is telling us we need to sacrifice more now because he was too stupid to make a deal with the US. At the end of the day, he wasn't stupid. He didn't make a deal with the US because he's making a shit ton of money because his investments are not in Canada. Like, let's be honest here. It's 91 to 95% of his fucking investments are all in the US. Brookfield moved to the US, their head office to the US just before he became prime minister. You think that's a fucking coincidence? Of course it is, right? But let's sacrifice, Rob. Let's sacrifice. We might have to live together, bro. I'm just saying. That's not...
Yeah, no homo though. I mean, I don't like it, it's funny because he's like talking about this destroyed U.S. relationship as if it's this thing that happened like, and it's out of our control, like it was a natural disaster. Like, no, it was you. It was you. Yeah, I mean, Trump didn't help for sure, but like you like there's every other country in the world who managed to find a way to deal with Trump without destroying the relationship with the U.S. But like when you run a campaign on, you know, anti-Trump and I'm going after Trump and elbows up, you got to know that he is a vindictive, petty asshole. That's what he does. And you can complain about that, but at the end of the day, you have to recognize that it's just the facts. You can't run a campaign like that. And even when he won, maybe if he had been like signaled like, okay, you know, now that the campaign is won, we're gonna have to deal with the reality on the ground. We're gonna have to work with Trump. But he didn't. He still went elbows up until the first time he met him, and then it was elbows way down.
Elbows down.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, he's not straight. But you know, so he's talking about this destroyed relationship as if he didn't play the main role in destroying it. And then he's talking about, it's going to be a long road back to the economy. But then give us a plan. What is your plan? And I'd like to see this plan be heavily reliant on investing in our infrastructure, in our economy, in our resources, getting shit out of the ground, whether that's oil, minerals, metals, what have you. We're rich in it. We are rich in natural resources. It's the only thing that we're rich in. It's the only thing that we're wealthy in. And I don't hear any of that from this guy.
And on top of that, we have the God blessing of sharing the biggest border with the biggest economy in the world.
Yeah.
Like we have an advantage that
a massive
no
advantage.
Other country
A massive
has.
advantage.
Well, Mexico has, they share a massive border with them, but they don't have the natural resources that we do. We literally have all the natural resources we need to become top 3 richest fucking country on the planet. It is mismanagement.
Yep.
But as Rusty Wiener said, and man, Wiener, if you want to repeat it, because I've paraphrased your saying, but it's too, what was it? It's too constant to be incompetence. Do you remember he said so? It was brilliant. It was one of the best comments I've heard. Yet I don't fucking remember it. Sorry, man.
This this is actually another good one from Rusty Wiener. It says, doesn't matter if you like him. Can you make a deal? I respect it. Who are you fighting for, the U.S. or Canadian people? I mean, that's it. That's exactly it. It does not matter. Like the liberal media is just making excuses. Oh, Trump this, Trump that. Well, Trump is fucking Trump. We don't have a say in who the president of the United States is. We can sit here and complain about it, but that's what losers do. That's a loser attitude. That's like sitting and complaining about the fucking weather. Oh, I'd like to have gone and, so I'd like to go make some money today and get out and make some sales, but it's raining, it's windy, and what can you do? You fucking go out there in the rain and in the wind. It's just losers sit around and complain about things they can't control. And Trump's not even he's difficult in a sense, but he's actually in another sense quite simple. He's not a complicated guy at all. If you understand anything about human nature and human psychology, he's kind of a base character, right? He's very much just id dominated, just base instincts. Dominance he's a classic caveman, right? And it's only confusing because so many people are like, oh, I don't understand how to deal with Trump. It's only confusing if you're trying to put him in a traditional, exactly, right. If you read the book, it's only confusing if you try to look at him through the lens of a traditional politician. But if you just scrap that lens, because he is not a traditional politician and he never will be, and you just understand who he is, he's a fucking caveman. He's dominance based. But he's also, he's tribal in the bad ways, but also the good, meaning he respects loyalty, and he wants to make a deal. And so, to act like, oh, he's just impossible to deal with is bullshit. Yeah, he's impossible to deal with. If you go to the table and your only position is we don't want any tariffs whatsoever, that's not going to happen. No country got that deal. But Carney went there with that deal, and anything less he wasn't going to accept, which almost makes it feel like he went there with the intention of having no deal. He wanted it on purpose. Yeah.
Oh, he did it on purpose. There's no doubt in my mind that he did it on purpose. No matter if it's for his own personal gain, because most of his investments are in the U.S., or it's because he's a WEF. Like at the end of the day, he was on the board of the WEF. He was a special envoy for climate change for the UN. So he is extremely globalist, and he's self-defined as a globalist. He has no problem. He said it during the campaign that he is a globalist. So yeah, he's doing it on purpose. There's no fucking questions in my mind. Rusty Wiener, it's too consistent to be incompetence. Yeah, there you go.
Yep, there it is.
There it is. Yeah, Rusty Wiener. I will never be able to call you Wiener. Can't do it, bro.
Yeah, no, not going to happen. Not when he's felt like that. So he says one thing about Trump, people fold to Israel anytime. Maybe not. I mean, I don't he's clearly pro-Israel. I don't think that's because he's necessarily, owned by Israel. I think he just that's just his temperament. I think he just is naturally inclined to be pro-Israel. Frankly, I think more people should be pro-Israel. If you think about it, like they're the only friend of the West out there in the Middle East. They're the only culturally compatible country in the Middle East. And I don't know. I don't see any evidence that like he's owned by Netanyahu or anything. I don't like. I mean, the fact of the matter is that deal that he basically forged between Israel and Palestinians, that wasn't a pro-Israel deal. I mean, you watch the people in Gaza celebrating and shooting off fireworks when it happened. So I mean, that's all the proof you need. It wasn't, they felt it was a good deal. If he was owned by Netanyahu, I don't think he would have. I think he would have gotten a more overtly pro-Israel deal.
They can't be that poor. Now that you said it out loud, they can't be that poor if they have fireworks. I don't know.
They're not, man. They're not. Like
when you have fireworks.
That's the other thing. When you watch them in the streets, they were all well fed and healthy, and like there's no fucking genocide going on. There's no starvation. It was all a grift. The total, like, so now that the war is over, we have some numbers on the death toll. The total death number in Gaza from start to finish was like 2.7%, right? That's actually quite low for a war, for a total war. By comparison, the death rate of Jews in the Warsaw Ghetto during World War II was 95%. It means 95% of the people at the start of the war who are alive are dead. That's what a genocide looks like. 2.7% on a war is not, I mean, that's all you need to see to know it's not genocide. Doesn't mean war crimes weren't committed. I have no doubt they were, because they're committed in every single war. Doesn't mean Israel didn't do a lot of real sketchy, shady, almost certainly illegal stuff, because they did. But words have meaning. Words have to mean something. Genocide has a specific meaning. That wasn't a genocide.
I like Bristle Tube on this one. I don't care who Trump is owned by. I care about Canada. Make a deal already.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like you said. We've been saying this for 8 months, 9 months since fucking Trump has got elected. We're gonna have to deal with him. Love him, hate him, doesn't fucking matter. He's gonna be there.
We don't get to decide.
But he's not complicated.
No,
it's so easy to just stroke his ego.
Stroke his ego. That's it.
Just stroke his ego. Take one for the team. Take a couple cum shots for the team, and then we'll make a deal. That's it. Stroke his ego. That's it. That's all you need to do.
It's really not hard.
He's the big guy in the room.
And that's all he wants. He wants to feel like the big guy in the room, and that's pretty easy to do. It really is. The only reason Carney didn't do it is because he just won elections stoking hatred and resentment against Trump, and he knew he couldn't just come in and do that, or else he'd get crucified by his base. And so he's to blame, because he put himself in a position where he couldn't do the easy thing that needed to be done to actually help Canada.
Yeah, just proves he wasn't very tough with him either. Like Zelensky has more bite to him than Carney, and that says a lot. Like, look at the old videos of Zelensky when he was an actor.
Yeah,
that says a lot about Mark Carney.
Yeah. Rusty says, Israel, I don't care about foreign blood feuds. It's supposed to be neutral ground. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't see why so many people give a shit about Israel Palestine. One way or the other. If people don't want to give billions to Israel, I can support that. I don't think we should give billions to Israel either. But the massive amount of energy and political capital and time that people are spending on Israel and Palestine, it just boggles my mind, because who gives a shit? It's not our problem. It's not our issue. It's just, I don't understand it. Kenzie, 100,000 died in the last 2 years. Entire city of Israel. No, that's not really true. There is not 100,000 Palestinians killed in the last 2 years. And yeah, like, Israel has done lots of terrible things, just like the Palestinians have done lots of terrible things to Israel. And that's the point. There's no one good on both. There's garbage on both sides. It doesn't fucking matter. It's not our issue.
I just want to stop funding foreign wars, and I want to make a deal with the U.S. That's, if there's 3 things I can ask from a government right now, or 4 things: leave my fucking free speech and my guns alone. Make a fucking deal with the US. Stop sending money overseas and invest it in Canada and develop our natural resources. If we can do
Yes.
those 4 things, we could be one of the richest countries on the planet. Not that fucking complicated. But I'm tired of being involved in other people's bullshit. I'm tired of sending money to other people's bullshit.
Yep.
I'm tired of people telling me that they can't make a deal. Well, if you can't make a deal, you know what? Fuck off. You're not the right person for the job. If you can't make a deal with Trump, fuck you, Carney. You're not the right guy for the job. That's it. It's not that complicated. Your job is to make a deal with him because he buys 75% of our shit.
Yes,
Make
yes.
a
Your
fucking deal,
job
asshole.
as a Prime Minister of Canada is to make a deal with
Yes.
the President of the United States. It does not
Yes.
matter who that person
Yeah.
is. And
Don't
frankly, Donald Trump's probably one of the easier guys to make a deal with. It may not be a deal you're going to love, but it's easy to get, right? You go in there, stroke his ego a little bit. You gotta have to accept 10% tariffs, just because there's no one that's getting tariff free, and it is what it is. Take a couple of these comments, and then we'll
Yes,
put a pin in it. Bristles Tube says we should not be giving money to anyone
100%.
when Canadians are living in tents. Good comment. Kenzie says I agree. Stop getting involved in other countries. Yeah, perfect. Like that's really we can have an academic debate about Israel Palestine, and I'm all for that.
But that we
But
don't
as far
agree.
as
We all agree on that one.
Yeah,
Stop
this is
giving
the-
our money
this is-
away.
This is the common ground. Yes, stop giving our fucking money. Stop getting involved.
That's
stop influencing. Stop, because it's just how long have we been trying to influence? When I say we, I mean the West and overall. Certainly, led by the United States, but Canada's involved as well. Have we been trying to influence the Middle East? It's just every time it's sticking your finger in a dam. Every time you put, you plug that hole 5 more over there, and it's just it's not our monkeys. It's not our circus. We
And
need
get out
to
of NATO too, Kenzie, brother. We've been talking
Yeah,
about this for
yeah,
months.
yep.
Get the fuck out of NATO too.
There's
You're
no
gonna
need
fit
for it
right
anymore.
in here. Nope.
There's no need
Nope.
for it anymore. It was job well done when the Cold War ended. When when Soviet Union collapsed, that was great.
Yep.
NATO, thanks for your service. And it is what it is. But why the fuck do we need a military alliance, a military organization with no enemy? We use the analogy all the time to a hammer. Everything looks like a nail, and NATO is just one giant hammer searching the world for a reason to exist. And so it's got perverse incentives to start wars to justify its own existence.
Yep.
And final comment, again, it is obvious that the club is collapsing the world for the new world order. Yeah, I mean, certainly something's collapsing. There certainly is something, things like new world order. If you want to use that term to describe whatever it is behind the scenes, pulling strings, yeah, okay, I can agree with that. Whatever that
That's
is.
a term. But that's
Yeah.
a term. The WEF, the WHO, that's what they want.
Sure.
It's a one world order. So I agree with you, Mike McKenzie, on that one. You have to destroy a country before you can take over it without having to shoot anybody. This is how you do it. And that's what they're doing right now, because they're going to come up with a solution. You know that they're going to show up. They're going to continue to destroy the economy. And then they're going to tell us, you know what? We have automatic payment. Just accept the digital ID and we will give you a monthly allowance.
Billions.
Yeah,
Billions.
100%. You know that's what's going to happen. So
Well, I mean, they've been doing it to poor countries for the last 100 years. I guess they've run out of poor countries to do it too. Maybe now they're going to do it to the rich countries.
no, they destroy the country, make them poor, then they repeat.
Yeah.
We're becoming a fucking poor country. We're not supposed to be.
Yeah.
But
Final.
they're making
Okay.
us.
Actual final comment. Fuck NATO. Fuck the UN. Fuck the WF. Canada first. Yeah, I think Canada first should become a common theme. I think Canada first should be it should be a slogan that just is nonpartisan, and this all parties should be their mantra. Canada first, because why not? Why would it not be? The global order is collapsing. That's clear. And it's really a return to nationalism. And unfortunately, the word nationalism has really got a branding issue, mostly because the media has dragged it through the muck for the last couple decades. But at heart, nationalism is just fundamentally being proud of your country, your nation, and I think most people in the West we've broadened our perspectives over the last couple decades, where we all tend to think of ourselves as these global citizens, and the nation state is not really that important. But clearly, that's failed. That's clearly wrong. And it turns out that the nation state is actually the most stable political entity, and that should be. I'm all for international agreements, international alliances, but clearly the nation state should be as far as we go.
Agreed.
Yes. Other than that, guys,
Was that the final one? Do you have another final one, or that was
another final one? There was a final one.
I'm saying, yeah. Is it a final one?
Yeah, no, I think that's it. I think that is it.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to put a pin in her there. Excellent show tonight. Lots of audience engagement. If you are tuning in for the first time, please consider becoming a member through YouTube. You can do that through I believe it's through the chat there. You can also support the show by buying us a coffee in the VR, using the VR code in the upper right hand corner. One of these two. Other than that, guys, excellent show. We will see you Sunday night, and there's also the Saturday night mashup if you guys want to jump in.
Not this week.
Saturday night mashup.
There's none this week.
Okay.
We're realizing that you don't have a life when you have to record on Saturday.
Yeah.
So Jason and I were speaking this week. We're like, maybe we're gonna do every 2 weeks.
Every second Saturday.
Yeah. Plus, it's my wife's birthday on Saturday. So.
Oh, nice. What are you guys doing?
Don't know yet. I'll do something.
We'll go for dinner or something.
We'll do
nice.
something, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, guys, we'll see you on.
We'll see you Sunday night.
Sunday.
Booze. Damn it!